Hello, hello, hello. How much fun is that? I thought I'd try a different angle this time and get your attention. So, how are you all doing? What an amazing week we've had. My goodness. I don't know about you, and those workbooks, I bet you, are absolutely full. So remember, this whole week was literally, it's not about the money. It's about living a peaceful and prosperous life no matter what you've got outside. So on day one, we were talking about the science of who you are. And the whole reason I did that, so remember, your waves and particles, yeah? Your waves and particles. And so the whole reason behind that is just so you know that there is possibility, yeah? Absolute possibility. It is endless. Remember, there's a yes and a no and 3,000 options in between. Which one are you looking at? Which one are you looking at? Because whatever you're looking at, whatever you're focusing on, that's what you're going to get. And if you don't like it, then change your focus. It is entirely up to you. Okay? So day two, then we started to talk about, what was the key to your results. Why didn't you get actually the goals that you wanted? Is because you're not setting them high enough. And you go, but I'm not even getting the lower ones. Why would I set a higher goal? I know, it's illogical. But the idea is to raise your energy. If you're not smiling with your goal, oh my goodness, I take time out. I hang out with my goal every day. And when I forget to hang out with it, that's when things don't go the way I want them to be. When I hang out with my goal, and I literally mean that I just sit down and I smile. Does your goal make you smile? So tell me, does your goal make you smile? Tell me on here. Put a heart, put a thumbs up, put an emoji. I don't know, whatever it is. I want you to be smiling, yeah? And so the next thing is what's holding you back from that? It's not just the fact that your goal isn't high enough, is that when you start to do your goal high enough and big enough, actually this is when your programming comes out. So it starts to literally, the bigger your goal, the bigger your knowing doing gap, the more fear and terror and, oh no, I shouldn't do this. This isn't right. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing the other. Yeah. That's so good because you don't have to go looking for your blocks. How many people have I heard say, I'm looking for my block? Well, stop looking for your blocks, because when you study this program, Thinking into Results, your blocks come up one at a time, yeah? And so we don't need to go looking for them. And then what's brilliant is we know what to do with them. So that was day two. And you had all the things. You had to write your goal, even start to write out your paradigms as well. So what else did we do? Okay, so the next day was all about your self-image. This is the secret, yeah? One of the secrets. This is the root cause of your results. You can never outgrow your self-image. Say that again. You can never outgrow your self-image. You see, what happens is that you've got, this person here, and then this person just back here. And you keep hitting the wall and bouncing back, hitting the wall and bouncing back. Because this person here, this is the imposter. That's the imposter. Not the person you're trying to be, but this little person inside that's all full of those programs, doubts, insecurities, life. I mean, wait to tell you, I'm 51. I didn't just get here without living life, and neither did you. There's been so much that's going on in your day, that literally in your life, that is just, it's coming out right now. You've stuffed it down for so long. I just had a chat with somebody there, and we've stuffed things down for so long, yeah, that it's like building up a wall of concrete. And as we get to our 40s and 50s, it becomes so heavy. So when we're younger, we've got lots of energy. But as we get older, that energy starts to fade away. And we're carrying around so much. And I want to help you just dump it. And your self-image is so key for that. And then the next day, what did we talk about on the next day? There you go. It was the secret to your results. And that was all about decision. You've got to make a committed decision. You see, what happens is we make decisions and then we worry about the decision that we did. The time to worry about a decision is before you make the decision. So do all your worrying and all your thinking here, make the decision, then make the decision right. I'm going to help you make that decision right. Okay, so tonight it is all about the questions that you have brought to me. And so I want you just to literally, if you've got questions on there, I'm hoping I'm going to catch them there, but I've also got them all on a spreadsheet of everything that you've asked as we've been going through this time. So I spoke about thinking into results, and that's what I'm going to answer them on, everything on this. And I spoke about the journey, about really understanding what our goals are. Absolutely. And you may think that you know this. Listen, I've worked with people for 2 years, and actually they've realized that they were working on the wrong goal. So sometimes that procrastination, and you know what procrastination is? It's basically, listen, I wrote it out before, following the stupidity of the masses. That's what procrastination is, because you come up with an idea and then you go and ask somebody else and they don't know. I mean, you didn't even know the answer to your question. So why the heck are you asking somebody else? Only you know the answer to your question. Only you. And on Sunday, what I'll be doing is telling you about, Monday, I'll be telling you about the 7 levels of awareness. So get ready for that. Put it in your diary, 7 p.m. on Monday night. That is an extra special bonus that is going in. And that in itself will teach you how to react or respond. That's entirely up to you. Namsa, I see that you're waiting to come on Zoom, but we're all doing this is live on LinkedIn, it is live in Facebook, and it is live on YouTube. There is no Zoom today. You had an email today, and so it is literally just live on here. The special VIP Zoom, Namsa, you will be on that tomorrow. So everybody who's booked a call, if you haven't booked a call, the link is up there. And anybody who has booked a call, then you will be having a VIP session privately with me and my other success advisors on the call, where we are going to answer even more deep dive questions personally for you. So remember that. Okay, great. I'm glad that, Daniel, that you're looking your groovy self. Or is that me? I'm looking my groovy self. I'm hoping it's you. Okay, so talking about, thinking into results. So I dropped the offer yesterday. So this is well over, actually it's worth about 20,000, but I put it to figures and it's over 12,000. But for this week only, it is 6,000, okay? 6,000. Now we've got one more space left, because I said for the first 5 people who joined, who booked a call and who signed up, okay, that actually this is a 6-month program and you're going to get an extra 6 months for free. Boom, immediate return on investment. Okay, so make 6,000 look small, let me tell you, because you're going to want this. If you've been following this all week, you want this. There's absolutely no doubt, because in here is the answer to every single problem you've got. You don't believe me? Well, we're going to test it out. Let me just talk to you about the journey first of all. So we talked about that last night, and it was about really setting up the goal and really understanding the goal, but making it so big that it scares you. It has to scare you. You have to feel uncomfortable. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. You're stagnant. And cruising, you can't cruise, because cruise actually means that you're going downhill. And if you think you're standing still because you know it all, then the world turns around 360 degrees. And guess what? You went backwards. Namsa, you're here. This is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Absolutely love it. So then what happens there is your paradigms kick off. Your programming has said, no. Like for me, whenever I was 19 and I went to an interview to be an admin, to be a secretary in the RAF. And then I did a test, IQ test, and they said, oh my goodness, we want you to be an officer. Your IQ is so high. Come for officer training. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I hid from that, because I thought, well, I only want to be a secretary. What are you doing? Officer, that's not me. I think you've got the wrong person. I was so embarrassed. Go figure. But you see what I did? I was offered something and I pinged back. At 19, I did that. I didn't notice at all what was happening. But I do now, and I can see all of you. And I just want to give one person an absolute shout out tonight because she was amazing. She booked a call with me. First of all, she said, I have no money. There's no point in me coming on a call. And I said, how long has that been happening for you? Because that's the very reason you want to come on this call. Do you want that to continue? She listened to another lesson and she said, oh my goodness, I'm booking the call, and then immediately cancelled again. And I said, it's okay. Have a look at these two programs. One is 6 Minutes into Success. It's free for the first 2 weeks and it's $29 or something like that after, and it just gets you going. And you know what? She booked onto that, and then she booked on a call, and we had the most amazing call. You see, it's the thing that don't be afraid to step up and go and have a look at least. Do you walk outside the expensive shops and go, well, I'm not going in because I can't afford anything? Don't do that. Go in. Feel the clothes, feel the material, feel part of the shop. Is there a car you want? Whenever this is all over, literally go into the car showrooms and sit in them, feel them. Don't look from the window, because that's what you're doing with your life. You're looking at the window. Go into the shop and feel it. But it's going to kick off your knowing doing gap. And that's what it is. So that's going to literally make it even wider. And what I want you to do is like literally make it as wide as possible, because all your paradigms are in there. They're all in there. They're all in there. And so we take you on a journey that closes this knowing doing gap. And then we get you to think bigger again, and it opens again. And then we deal with the paradigms and we close it again. And that's how you're going to go through life. This program isn't for 6 months. You just have me helping you on your journey. This is a program for life. Like, imagine if you mortgaged your house and you put £6,000 on it. Like, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing for the rest of your life. Anyway, then we need to bring order to your mind. So that's what this program does, because your mind's not in order. You see, you cannot be a magnet if your mind is all over the place. The only reason that it's like TIR to us is like carbon is to steel. It makes it, all the molecules go in the one direction, and that's what magnetizes it. You want to be a magnet attracting stuff. You don't want to be getting anymore. It's exhausting. You want to be attracting. Who would like to attract? This hand. Who would like to attract rather than get? Doesn't that sound so much easier? Yeah, doesn't it? So then what we want to look at is the trick to staying in charge no matter what, because you're being reacting to everything on the news. You don't like somebody, you ate the wrong food, whatever. Yeah. We want the trick to staying in charge no matter what. So that's the next lesson. Then it's all linked in with your self-image. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Your self-image is so key, but it is deeper than just like, what am I wearing? What's my brand? It is so much deeper than that. And then we have to go through the terror barrier. Now, I know for the people who've signed up on this program that you hit the wall, you hit the terror barrier, but oh my goodness, you went through it. Congratulations to you. That is the first thing that we do, is to literally go through, and that's where freedom is. And then a decision is made, and it's like, right, let's make this work. This is the last program you will ever need. I promise you that. Bob says, show me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. It is absolutely true. Absolutely true. But here's the thing, guys. You got to do the work. You got to be in it, and you got to do the work. And even though I'm going to be here, I'm at the top of I'm at a certain stairs, and you've got to climb your own stairs. I'm climbing my stairs. I'm climbing mine. It's never over. Bob at 87 next month literally says that himself. The paradigms still come out, and he studies every single day. It's like when you start to clean your house, and then if somebody made it dirty again, you've got to protect it. And that's why this program is for life. Okay, so the next thing is it's your beliefs and your behaviors. Praxis. Are they in line? I mean, you think one thing and you do another. You say one thing and then you do another. So like, I'm a millionaire, and then somebody asks, well, can you go and do this? I can't afford it. You can't afford to say that anymore. Stop saying it. You can't afford. And if you missed out on my live earlier, I dealt with that money issue earlier. So look back in my posts on LinkedIn or Facebook, and you will see that live all about money. And about money is not an excuse. It is not an excuse. I told you where I found mine. Didn't ever share that before, and I shared it this time. But it doesn't matter how I manifested mine. It's how you manifest yours. Only you know that. I don't know that. Yeah? So then we need that. Your attitude changes all the time when you don't get what you want, do you? You know, when you get what you want, you're in a great mood. When you don't get what you want, you're not so bad. What behaviors are you displaying at the top when you're in a good mood? And what behaviors are you displaying at the bottom when you're not so good mood? For me, I was like a spoiled little child when things don't go my way, and I still do that. She comes right in and she has a temper tantrum. It's not fair. I'd have to laugh because I still do it. But I catch her. I've got the tools in which to catch her. And I just keep going through it, because sometimes the higher you go and the deeper you go and the more awareness you have, the harder the hit. You think you have a hard hit now. Well, I thought that everything would be just roses and life wouldn't happen to me and I could everything would be fine. But here's the thing. Life continues to happen. But what am I talking about? And let me tell you that everybody who's got success, they don't talk about their problems, do they? They talk about where they're going. That's why they make it look easy. But every single person came here to go through something. Nobody got away scot-free. I hate to tell you that. So whatever you're feeling, the people who are made it at the top, they felt it too. But they did something about it. They stepped forward. They felt the fear. But here's the thing. If you don't want to go forward, then don't. Just accept where you are. Do you want to stay where you are? That's okay. That's okay. Just be happy. Acceptance is amazing. It is literally the freest thing that you can do, is to accept where you are. But do you want to stay there? Because I just say, well, then don't bother doing this program. Don't bother. It's okay. It's okay. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be doing this. And I can only work with people. I do not persuade anybody to do this program. Ever. I talk about it. I tell my truth. And you ask me, how do I join? That's everybody who is a client of mine have asked me, because I've only ever shared my truth. So don't believe me. Or do believe me. But believe what your heart is telling you, that there's something that you have stayed here and watched this all week. So the last lessons then are all about basically becoming a leader. A leader. A leader of yourself, a leader of your mouth, a leader of your thoughts, a leader of your heart. Because if you don't have that, how the heck are you leading a business? How the heck are you leading other people to follow you? How the heck are you leading people to come to your store and buy whatever it is that you've got? How the heck do you lead the next partner in your life? How do you do that if you cannot lead yourself? And then you say that you want a new partner in your life, but do you? Do you really want the person that when you're at your worst, you're not very nice? I wouldn't want me whenever I'm in a temper tantrum, but I only ever have those in my head. Yeah. Or I go out in the car sometimes. I've done that. And I scream and shout in the car. So listen, what problems do you have? Okay, so I'm going to have a look at some of the ones here, and I'm going to then point you to a lesson. So remember that if you don't book a call up there with that link, or have a look at least at the page, it's like a shop. Just go and look, for goodness sake. It's not going to hurt you. Nobody can jump out and grab your credit card and off we run. It doesn't work like that. You can book a call and chat with me, or you can just book in. There's one more place left. That means that you don't just get 6 months, you get a whole year. A whole year. And I've actually said as well that Bob Proctor, you have 2 question and answer sessions with Bob Proctor in 6 months. Well, that means you got 4. That in itself is just flipping priceless. Absolutely priceless. You've got a community of people that are with you the whole step of the way. You've got early morning clubs, you've got master classes in business, question and answer, book clubs, lesson facilitations, one-to-one laser calls. Oh my goodness, that in itself is worth 4 to 6K. In fact, it's worth a lot more than that, but I just thought, well, I'll have that as a number. It felt good. Yeah, it's worth a lot more than that. So Bob Proctor's program itself is 6,000. Everything else I've given you for free, because I know what this journey is. I know what this journey is, and you need support. Yes, give me some loves. I want some loves on there. How many hearts can I get on there? That would just be like so cool. Absolutely so cool. So listen, let me go to answering the questions here. Let's have a look. So I don't have anybody to do business with. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my own. Flipping heck. Well, there's the thing. You just have to come into our group, and there you go. That's that answer. I don't even have to go to thinking into results for that. We're all going to the same place. Okay. So what's my purpose? I don't know my purpose. Well, that's one of the things that we actually deal with in lesson 1. But as you go through the whole journey anyway, that is literally going to come out deeper, deeper, and deeper. But first of all, what's your purpose? Well, you actually start to pick that up in lesson 1. How do I live with anxiety and depression? Okay, so as you go through this journey, so really if you've been living with that for such a long time, there would probably be a key lesson that I would bring you to. So remember, it's a journey through all the lessons, but then there's lessons that you can focus into. Now for this one, I would actually focus into this one with the lesson 6. And this is our self-image. So what are you identifying with? I mean, let me just give you actually one of the client testimonials, and she will be on Monday at 3:00. Is anybody dealing with pain at this moment in time? Because it was one of the first lessons I actually took her to was lesson 6. So instead of her setting her goals, I knew that the first thing that she was wanting to deal with was pain, and I'm going to let her tell you that story. But we went to lesson 6 about the self-image. Is, do you identify with being anxious? Do you identify with being depressed? Is that how you introduce yourself to people? Is that what you want people to understand about you? I don't want to understand your anxiety. I don't want to understand your depression. I don't say that as if it doesn't matter. What I mean is I want to understand your greatness. I know who you are. Right now, there's a story playing, and you've played this story for so long, and we get so used to it, and we get so wrapped up in our stories. Oh my goodness, when we can start to see, who do I want to be? What is this image that I have of myself? Who do I want to identify as? Now, if you want to carry on identifying with your anxiety and depression, because the paradigm can be so strong that way, that's okay. But you can start to accept it. You see, the thing is that it's the resistance that causes the pain. So if you just go, I love this, it's just like, you know what? I didn't realize that I'd actually been living with anxiety. I didn't realize, and I know that there's a couple of my clients as well who we've been living with anxiety all our lives because we're doing things so fast, so fast, so fast, so fast. Got to fit this in, got to fit this in, got to fit this in, got to fit it in. And when you start to slow down, you feel your body. And I'm like, I'm shaking. I feel like I have to be somewhere. Oh my God. And it didn't dawn on me really until actually last month that I'd been anxious. And when I look at my family and I see my mum and my brother, my mum's passed away and my brother is not in a good place. And I can see the anxiety. And I'm like, oh my goodness, but I had such a positive mindset. I was just ignoring everything. But there came a time, you heard my story, that I just worked too hard, studied too hard, knew too much, hit the deck. And it just hit me. Yeah. I didn't realize that this is where this work gets into, and it starts to uncover all these. I don't really need to know why I was anxious. I don't need to know that. But here's the thing, anxiety is better than depression because depression's lower down the scale and there's no life in you. But at least in anxiety, you've got some life in you. So we can start to see, and actually lesson 5, so lesson 5 and 6 to deal with that anxiety and depression are so key. Absolutely 100% key. So let's have something else here. What else? I've lost my way and I've put on weight. And so that's the thing, is that we're just not really sure where we're going. Again, that's going to be lesson 1 that you'll need to be in there for that one. Better health, better wealth, and a good partner. Yes, better health, better wealth. Basically, it's the whole program with that one. But finding a new partner, again, I would actually say that that is lesson 6 in self-image. And lesson 11 would be very key with that. It's about leaving people with the impression of increase. And lesson 10, which is the most valuable person, all the information in there will help you find that. Because here's the thing about, I love lesson 10 and how Bob says, he says MMFI, and that is make me feel important. Do you feel important? Do you try and make other people feel more important so that you can feel important, or does it make you feel a little bit more insecure? You see, that's the key, is that you are the most important person, but so is everybody that you meet. Everybody is important. And when you can walk around with that and treating people like that, but here's the key, you treat yourself like that first of all. You treat yourself like that first of all. Okay. So somebody said here to stop procrastinating. Okie dokie, stop procrastinating. That's lesson 7. That's the terror barrier. But by the time you get to lesson 7, now if you're a real terror barrier freak, if you're really in fear, then actually I get you to go there first of all. And yes, I've done that with one of my clients, and she went there first of all and she understood her fear. She understood her fear so much better. But the thing is that we understand it intellectually, but the work that we do, because we spend 2 weeks on each lesson, in fact, I've actually asked people to stay on a lesson for a month, if it's even deeper, is because it starts to bring the experiences to us so that we can actually have a pragmatic approach to our life. The thing is that, you know, we're spiritual bodies with an intellect in a physical body. And you know it intellectually, you know it spiritually, but your body needs to get the message. Let me tell you something about my mum, and this is where I hope to really explain this a lot better, is that, so I said yesterday that if 10 years ago, somebody said that if I changed the relationship with my mum, then it would change my relationship with me and my world would get better. So I didn't get that at all to begin with. But then after studying and reading, I got it intellectually. So probably about 5 years ago, yeah, I got that intellectually. I understood there was nothing to forgive, because any forgiveness or resentment was just hurting me. It wasn't even hurting her. She'd no flipping clue, did she? Bless her. And so I really got it. But then when I could see that she'd gone into the nursing home, and I was like going, you know, Sheena, now's the time to make amends. But my physical body couldn't do it. I knew intellectually, I knew spiritually. But when it came to say the words, I love you, Mummy, oh my God, I felt physically sick, because we'd never said that. Never. I remember once my mum hugging me, and I remember freaking out at that, because at that stage I was about 8 years old, and I remember thinking, what are you doing that for? You've never done that before. And it felt really freaky. And so my physical body couldn't say the words, I love you. So then I managed to go forward a bit more. I carried on doing this work, thinking into results. And then I literally was able to say, I love you. And that became a bit of a habit, but I never really felt it. It just became a bit of a habit. Then I got to the stage where I just went, you know, this is causing me anxiety. This is causing me some resentment towards myself. I was beating myself up for not being a good daughter. Raise your hands if anybody's resonating with any of this. It could be for friends, it could be for families, it could be for anything. And so I remember sitting down one day and saying, that's it. Okay, I know that one day, this life or the next life, that I'm going to say to my mum, you were the best, you were the best mum ever. Okay, I knew that. I knew that I was going to be able to say that one day. And then I was just sitting down, and my mum phoned me from the nursing home, and she said, "Oh, your brother's been really horrible to me. I don't know why." And I just said, "Listen, mummy, he doesn't understand. He's got his own problems, and he thinks that they must be your fault because you're his mummy. Don't worry." And it just fell out of me. I mean, literally just fell out of me. I just said, "Mummy, you're the best mummy anybody anybody could ever have." And they just fell out of my mouth. And I just, as I put the phone down, I just suddenly dawned on me, oh my God, the universe brought me the situation that I could present that. Do you see what happened there? Do you see what happened? That I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how to do it. Excuse me, my makeup's not getting in my eyes. That I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how to do it. Instead of trying to beat myself up and trying to figure it out myself, I just said to the universe, just make this happen. I don't care, this life, next life, I don't really care, but this is what's happening. And so the situation was brought to me. This is what thinking into results does. It brings you the situation so you can prove what you've learned. It's not up here. It is literally in here, and it is the experience that you have. So then the next time I saw her, we had a day out, and we had the best laugh ever. The best. I have never laughed with my mum, let me tell you. And we did tell you, when you're wheeling somebody in a wheelchair, you need a license. You need a flipping license to be wheeling anybody in a wheelchair. She nearly fell out, like I'm telling you. I had to grab her by the scruff of the neck and put her back in. I know it sounds funny, doesn't it? But yes, I had to do that. And so when we get back, she said, "Sheena, I don't know what's happened. Whatever it is, I love it." They were the nicest words my mum ever said to me. I need to get off that subject, okay? So, where am I? I got to lesson 12. So the last lesson, yeah, is it's about the mastermind and about you cannot do this journey on your own. You cannot do this journey on your own, okay? You're going to try to, because you're so wonderful. You're all wonderful. But you can't do it on your own. If you could, you'd have done it. And you cannot do it on your own. And I want you all to literally have this people around you that you can literally be free. Be absolutely free. Okay? I just want you to be free. So somebody else had asked about, well, I've got cancer. How does this help? How does this program help? One of my best friends, she literally developed cancer, and she started thinking into results. And her words were that if it wasn't for this program, she doesn't think, she'd have got through. Every single lesson started to clear things out for her. And again, if you've been a survivor of cancer or an illness or whatever, then lesson 6 is your self-image. What are you? What are you identifying with? Are you identifying with your illness that you want to talk about it all the time? Or do you want something else in life? I know your story. We all love our story. My God, I've still got some stories going on, but I can start to hear them now. And I go, oh, do I want that story to continue? Is it serving me? No, it's not serving me. Well, then I want to get rid of it. And as we go through every single lesson, the other one is if somebody close to me has died, how do I deal with that? And that's the thing, is that, you've obviously got to go through a grieving process. That's okay. But as we go through this journey, again, lesson 10 and 11 is all about, understanding who you are and leaving yourself with the feeling of increase, and so that you can feel good. And how about celebrating somebody's life? How about celebrating it? How about seeing where they are by you making the most of who you are? Remember, the first law that I spoke about in day 1 was the perpetual transmutation of energy. Okay, so that one is literally, we're moving in and out of form. I'm closer to my mummy now than I ever was when she was alive. I feel her beside me. I even had somebody reach out to me as a medium and say, your mum is beside you and this is her message. And you just couldn't write it, what she said. I've spoken to her again since, and she's going, well, actually, she's saying this. And I'm going, well, I know, I don't even know what I'm asking your questions for, because I actually know the answers myself, because I can feel her. She looks better than what she'd ever done. So celebrate people's lives. Isn't it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? Isn't it? Isn't that such a special journey that we're going through? We're all going to die at some stage, but we're like rushing into our death. And that's the thing, as I said, I'm too busy for this. I haven't got the time. You're rushing around. Where to? You're rushing to your death. You're going to get there at some stage, but the more you rush, the quicker you're going to get there. Why don't you just slow down? Slow down. And that is lesson 2 and 3. Because you're knowing doing gap, because you know so much that you've got this all sorted. For all you know it all's out there. Yes, I was one of those too. Still am. Knowing doing gap. Okay, it helps you close that, to understand why you have the results that you have. If you're doing everything and you still don't have the results that you have, if you do not feel peace and prosperity, no matter what your situation, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not about the money. But yes, people do have earned their annual salary monthly, earned their annual salary twice monthly, if you know what I mean, double their annual salary monthly. Oh my goodness, another, beautiful woman in my life has just told me about something else that she's won. She didn't win, she earned it. She did the work, she focused. That focus is she brought order to her mind, which is lesson 4. She brought order to her mind. And then lesson 5 was the one that literally held the will in place to make it come true. And so she's got something else. My goodness, what she's manifested over the last couple of years is just unbelievable. Because what did I say? This program is for life. She's never going to stop it. So does anybody else here have any more questions? What else are you going through? Or you say, like, I haven't got any money. Well, stop talking like that. Just say to yourself, I can't afford to say that anymore, because it's not working for you. It's not serving you. You've got to think something different. You've got to come from your goal. And we do all that. If you've got money worries, then literally, yes, this whole lessons, every single one of them will actually help you realize that. But I would actually focus on lesson 1. Lesson 1 is the key one. You could stay there for a month and still not get it. Oh, you get it on the first day when you read it, but you don't actually live it. A month of doing it, you're probably still not living it, but you're getting the idea. Lesson 1 is all about the decision. And then some people have said about, well, I'm responsible, my family have been horrible to me. They're this, they're that, to the other. Well, you see, if we're going to blame the outside world for anything, it's stories going on in your head. Ask yourself, they're not even around you now. And maybe something happened 5 years ago. But what is it that you're carrying in your head now? You're keeping it alive. You are keeping it alive. So I would literally get you to go stay on lesson 1 if you have that much resentment, to stay on lesson 1 for a lot longer, because it's all about your vibration, and really understanding the laws of the universe will help you through that. So, oh my goodness, I could keep talking forever and ever and ever. So I'm at 40 minutes already, and I don't even feel like I've answered half your questions, but I'm sure that everything that I've said now is something that somebody has gone through. Let me have a quick check here on some of the rest of them. Desire greatness in all my life. Well, you know what? My goodness. I love this. Become a billionaire and live into my true greatness. You can become a billionaire. Can you feel being a billionaire? Can you feel it now in your heart? Just for the hell of it. Don't take yourself so seriously. That's the key thing. Don't take yourself so seriously. Dream big. Dream big. I mean, listen, if I get really stuck, sometimes I'm just a warrior unicorn princess flying across the world, because then I feel my spirit lifting. And then I can go about my day. And wait to tell you, it is so much better in inner world than maybe sometimes looking at the outer world. And if you want to blame anything on the outside world, it hurts. It's painful. And you know what? In lesson 3, it all talks about responsibility. And I promise you, when you can take 1 100% responsibility. That is your freedom. But that's where I actually learned that from my responsibility article. And that was to do with, that's what's going to probably be the main part of the story on Sunday night. So up close and raw with Sheena. Yeah, didn't get to 51 without a few lumps and bumps and bruises. Yep. But I don't share them very often. So, but if I do think that it will make a difference to your life and for you to see what it takes to actually have results, you know, you can do it the hard way or you can do it the easy way. So the link is up there. I want you to click on the link and just go browsing. Like, just go and have a flipping look. If you're in the UK, we have UK finance options available there. You can click on that link too. Have a look through the whole program. We have got a private Zoom tomorrow at 2 p.m. for those people who have booked a call. Okay, the calls are coming through thick and fast. So we've got one place left for that extra 6 months. One place left for that extra 6 months. Who is it going to? Okay, so I can see in the links there that Catherine has put up some, we've got Catherine ready to take a call and Bobby Joe ready to take a call and me ready to take a call. Okay, so I want you to book on those. We are PGI consultants. We will help you as far as we can help you, but we can only do so because you step forward for us to help you. If this program isn't suitable for you, we will tell you we have 2 other options which we can take you down. There is something for you. You're on this call for a reason. You attracted this into your life. I would love to be a part of it. I want to be a part of your goals. When you tell me your visions, I feel the visions. I feel them, okay? So I want you to be a part of this as well. Thank you so much for all your time. Remember, the links are up there or they're in the chat as well. And have an absolute blessed Friday night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're on all weekend. Keep an eye out for it. It's in the group. I'm going to be posting every day and sending you emails. Take care. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.